Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What a pleasure to be with all of you here in my second favorite island country in the world. Why second? Because I live in Singapore. And it's been my home for 35 years. So you'll forgive me if I say it's my favorite, but Maldives is definitely my second favorite in the whole world. I travel to different countries to help civil service, government service, public service, financial service, legal service, medical service, food and beverage service, hospitality service, transportation service, improve their service, get better and better and better. And it's a great privilege to be able to speak with all of you in the Maldives Civil Service Commission. Would you join me, please, in giving yourselves a big round of applause for being the wonderful service providers that you are? As you can see, I've come to Maldives many times over the years. In fact, my wife and I have been to your wonderful country 70 times. 70 times! Why would you come here 70 times? Because we are very active scuba divers. And we love the people of the Maldives. Now, I did not meet her in Maldives. I met her in Australia at a scuba diving shop. She was running the shop and I was her customer. And I tell the story and say I was the best customer she ever had. She doesn't tell the story that way. But we went diving together, and the very first time we went diving together, we saw two octopuses mating. Octopuses mate once in their whole lives. And I looked at her and I said, it must be a sign. We're supposed to be together. You know? So she believed me. And I pulled her away from Australia, and I brought her up to Singapore. But the very first place after diving together in Australia that I took her was where? Maldives, of course. And on our very first dive together in the Maldives, what came to say hello? One of your beautiful manta rays. And so she looked at me, she said, okay, I'll stay with you. And we have been diving together ever since. And so when we come to the Maldives, yes, it's for the wonderful people. Yes, it's for your wonderful culture. But we also do enjoy all of the friends that we've made under the water all of these years. And I think you know what it is that I'm talking about. But it's interesting, when we go underwater, we're so grateful for all of the people who make that possible. The airport, the immigration authority, the tourism industry, customs department, the police, people here in Male, everybody who's making this country run. And so we think we should do our part. So when we're underwater and we see something that should not be there, we are the kind of people who say, let's bring it up. And so every time we go diving, we go to enjoy ourselves, but we also want to leave this place better than what it looked like when we went down. And you know, sometimes we find the most amazing things. And obviously a bicycle does not belong on a reef, but who's going to bring it up? That's our job. In fact, one time we were at a resort, and the engineering department decided they were going to do a project. They didn't even let us know what it was. And they suddenly showed us this. We said, what is that? 3 years later, they sent us this. So our sense of commitment to your country is above the ground, the people, but it's also below the ground. And now you know a little bit more about me and my partner, Jen. Okay? So now it's time to know a little bit more about you. In order for us to do this presentation, you also need to have a partner, someone you can talk to. Because I'm going to be asking you questions, I'm going to be asking you to give each other examples, and you need another person to be your partner. So I'm going to make it easy for you. Would you please take your hands, put them together, and rub them fast. Rub your hands together, fast, fast, fast. Make them warm, hot, hot, and now clap twice. Boom, boom. Hands up. When I say go, I want you to turn either to the right or to the left and say to the person next to you, please be my partner. Ready? Go! Very good, very good. Now, I'm going to check. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you go like this. Ta-da! Show me your partner. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. For many of you, that was good. You found a partner. But what about this guy? And the two of you partner, but you left this one out? Right. So it's okay if you have 2, but it's also okay if you have 3, but do not leave anyone by themselves. Okay? Okay. Let's do it again. Rub your hands together. Rub, 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 rub. Clap 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Hands up. Turn to your partner. Good morning. Hello, partner. First question for you and your partner. In the Maldives Civil Service, given your job, your position, your role, your department, your agency, your function, who do you serve? We have people here from climate change, we have people here from tourism industry, we have people here who are presidents, who are principals of schools. Who do you serve in your job? Ready? You turn to your partner. Between the two of you, the one who is wearing more colorful clothing speaks first. Talk to your partner. You have 30 seconds. Who do you serve? Go. Good. Good. Very good. So the first question, read it out loud with me. Ready? Go. Who do you serve? Good. Second question. Who serves you? Who do you need to give you good service so that you can serve someone else? You might say, for example, the finance department serves me. No, he goes, no, they don't. You might say the IT department serves me. Software, laptop, bandwidth. You might say the human resource department serves me. Today, we could say that the people who run this facility serve us so that we can serve you. In the back of the room is the team that runs this microphone and that screen, and they're serving me so that I can serve you. In your job, in your function, who do you need to give you good service so that you can serve someone else? The question is, who serves you? Ready? Turn to your partner. You have 30 seconds. Go. Music. Very good. Very good. Now, this is a Civil Service Commission leadership conference. So when I ask you the question, who serves you, some of you might say, my team serves me. My staff serves me. But it's interesting, if I ask them, they might also say, my boss serves me. My leader serves me. My manager serves me. So that together we can serve the nation in whatever your position might be. So all of us understand, especially if you're in the civil service, that we live in a world of service. Everywhere you go, everything you need, everything you do exists because someone has done something to make it possible for you. Interesting that schools are not always teaching that yet. And yet, when young people go off to get a job, they need to find some way to be able to serve someone else so that they are valuable in the world. Which raises a very good question. You serve someone, they serve you, but what is service? Well, you're in the Maldives Civil Service. I'm sure you have a good answer to that question. Let's check. When I say go, I want you to turn to your partner, and you're going to go like this. Service is, and I want you to tell your partner your definition of service. You're in the civil service. Of course, you must have one. Now, you're going to say your definition at the same time your partner is saying their definition to you. So you get to speak and listen at the same time. Ready? I'm going to say, ready, go. You go, service is, and tell them. Everybody take a deep breath. Here we go. Service is, go. All right, very good. Come on back. Question. How many of you said to each other exactly the same words? How many of you meant the same thing? You just used different words. Now the hands go up. That's a problem. Because imagine if you're talking to one of your team members and you say, service is giving people what they want. He nods his head. Yes, but sir, if you're in the medical service, you may not need to give the patient what they want. You may need to give them what they need. What happens if one supervisor says, our job is to meet expectations? And the next time, another supervisor says, no. Our job is to exceed expectations. Who's right? Yeah, both sides, but that can be confusing for your staff. And by the way, if your service, for example, is maintenance of engines for aircraft or for trucks, you do not always want to exceed expectations. Sometimes the best service is to meet the expectations exactly, okay? So we need a better definition of what service actually is. It took me 10 years to figure out one sentence. Let me teach it to you. First part. Service is, let's say it out loud. Ready? Go. Service is taking action. It could be over the phone. It could be online. It could be over the counter. It could be at the beginning of the problem. It could be at the end of the situation. But service is taking action. What is the purpose of the action? To do something that someone else will want, need, appreciate, hope for. If it's a customer, they will pay for. They might give you a compliment about. So service is taking action to create value. Let's say it together. Ready? Go. Service is taking action to create value for someone else. Now, some of you in the civil service, and I've heard this about you, not from you. Some people say the only reason someone wants to join the civil service is because they think it's going to be good for themselves. Like maybe you've heard the expression, what's in it for me? Well, what do you call it if you take action to create value for yourself? It's called self-service. But if you're in the civil service, The job is not really to take action to create value for yourself. The job is to create value for someone else. So let's read the definition again out loud and see if it makes sense to you. Ready? Take a deep breath and go. Service is taking action to create value for someone else. Does this definition make sense for you in your job in the civil service? Do you take action? I think your action is very different than the person sitting next to you or the person at the next table or the person in a different department. But do you take some action? Of course you do. Does your action create some value for someone else? Does this definition apply to you? Take a moment with your partner and share with each other. What action do I take? What value do we create? Who is it that's actually getting that value? Ready? Talk to each other, listen to each other. You have 1 minute. Ready? And go. All right, very good. Come on back. One more time. Please read the definition with me. You'll be familiar with it by now. Ready? Go. Service is taking action to create value for someone else. Next question. How good or bad is the service that you provide? Who has the answer to that question? Not you. Who has the answer to the question, how good or bad is the service you provide? Right, someone else who's getting the value from the action that you take. Now, answering that question means that we have to understand the experience, the point of view, the opinion of someone else. And other people use all kinds of different words. Terrible, wonderful, awful, fascinating, underperforming, disappointing, great, okay. So it can be a little confusing to answer the question. So I created something called the 6 levels of service to help people like you and me in civil service understand the experience of the person that we serve. And these 6 levels start down a little bit low, like the bare minimum. The word I use here is basic. For example, if you do something for someone, but it's late, but eventually it gets done. Or you do something for someone and it's not complete. But they tell you it's not complete and eventually you complete it. Or you do something for someone and it's a little bit incorrect. But they point it out and now you correct it. It happens in civil service all the time. And the experience of that for the other person is basic. Here's how we say it. Basic. Everyone say it with me. Ready, go. Basic. How do you feel? Right? Just saying it brings you down. Obviously, Maldives Civil Service Commission, this is not where we want to be. So we're going to take one step up. Above basic is what I call expected. This is normal. This is average. This is standard. This meets expectations. Here's how you say it. Take your arms and cross them over your chest. Everyone, please, cross your arms over your chest. Take the sound of your voice and move it up into your nose. So it goes like this. Expected. Okay, good. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Expected. What is above expected? Is when you serve someone the way they like it, the way they hope for, the way they prefer. I call that level desired. And here's how you say it. Take your shoulders and roll them back like this, like exercise in the morning. Come on. Sir, are your shoulders broken? Yeah, nudge him. Nudge him. Yeah, sir. I'm just checking. How are your shoulders this morning? Very good, very good. So we're going to do this together, okay? Okay, everybody, roll your shoulders. Here we go. Roll, 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 roll. Now we add the sound like this. It goes, desired. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Desire. One more time. 1, 2, 3, go. Desired. He's a champion now. All right, let's do all three together. Ready? Down low is, say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Basic. One step up, cross your arms, is expected. Shoulders, here we go. Desired. Talk to your partner. What would be an example of something that your department does, something that your school does, something that your ministry does, something that your agency does, where to the person you serve, it's just basic? What is another thing that you do that meets their expectations? And then share something that you do sometimes where the experience of being served by you and your team is what they really desire. Talk to your partner. You have 1 minute. Ready? Go. All right, come on back, come on back. So far we have 3 levels. What are they? Down near the bottom is basic. 1 level up, expected. Shoulders, desired. What is higher than desired? Is when you serve someone in a way they did not expect, and they like it. And they go, oh, what a nice surprise. Say it like this, surprising. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Surprising. Very good. What is higher than surprising? It's when you do something that they had absolutely no idea you could possibly do. They love you for it. They're going to tell other people about it. They think it's fascinating. They think it's incredible. And the word I use here is unbelievable. And we say it like this. Ready? Good. I got 3 tables who are awake and everybody else is, oh. But I understand, because the people in the back are usually wondering, what's at the bottom? Right. They don't want to go all the way to the top if they don't know what's all the way at the bottom. So let's ask that question. What is below basic? When you don't even meet the bare minimum standards. When you drop the ball. When you disappoint. When you do not fulfill. That's unacceptable. It's terrible. It's awful. It's so bad, I call it. Now, I don't mean break the law. That's why we have the police in here today. But I do mean you broke a promise. And the way you say that is you put your hands together like handcuffs. Oh, sir, you did that so fast. Was that because you had prior experience? So you go like this, criminal. Here we go, together. 1, 2, 3, go. Criminal. One step up, basic. Cross your arms, expand it. Shoulders, here we go. Desire, hands, surprising, fists. Oh dear. All right, come here. Have you and I ever met each other before?
Nope.
What's your name?
Muhammad.
Muhammad. And Muhammad, your job today is to do what?
Photography.
Photographer. You just took a picture of everybody. Look at your picture. Every photographer is a service provider. They're taking action to create value for who? Us. Right? That photograph is a picture of us at this conference. So he's trying to take action to create value for all of us. A photographer wants what's called the shot. The shot is the one where everybody is smiling and they're involved and they're active and it's incredible. And people go, who took that picture? Muhammad, you looked at that picture, right? Did you get the shot?
Yes.
No, you didn't. I know you did not. See, he's enthusiastic, but you were not. Come with me. Come here. Muhammad, you have a wide-angle lens, right? Can you see everybody? Put up your camera. All right, guys. He's our service provider. He wants the shot. If you sit there like this, he's not going to get it. Okay? So you're going to have to take some action to create more value for our service provider, and I'm going to join you. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Woo! Okay. Oh! Did you notice that? Did you notice that? Our service provider has just raised his standards. And he's going, eh. I tell you why. The back tables, we cannot see you. So this time, when we say 1, 2, 3, if the people at the back tables will stand up, then he will get all the people in the front and the people in the back. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ready? 1. Back tables. 1, 2, 3, go. Woo! Muhammad, check out, look at your photo. Muhammad, look at your photo. Come here. Come here. Hey. Look at the photo. He's zooming in.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Excellent.
So, did you get the shot?
Yep. The last one was great.
Thank you. Let's give our Muhammad a big clap. He's the service provider. His job was to take action to create value for us. But who else needed to take action so that he could create value? We did. And when we took action, then he could take action to create value for both of us. So who is the customer? Both parties. That is an example of what is called service partnership. When each side can take action to create more value for the other side. Isn't that exactly what the civil service is really all about? We take action so the population can take action, so the employers can take action, so the students can take action, so the parents can take action, so the companies can take action, so the resorts can take action, so the airport can take action to create more value for the people in this country. We're in a partnership of service. And that's why civil service can lead the nation. Because when you provide better service, other people get more value, and it becomes easier for them to take action to create value for us. True? Do you realize how important you are? You're not just the biggest employer with 35,000 people in the Maldives. You're also in their lives every single day. So, the book I wrote is not called Service. It's called Uplifting Service. Where is uplifting service on the 6 levels of service? Uplifting service is not one of the words. Where is it? Well, there's something about these 6 levels I haven't told you yet. They are not stairs. They're not steps. They're not stable. They're not fixed. They're in motion. This is an escalator, and it's always going down. Why do I say that? Because if you do something unbelievable, it will be the first time. The second time you do it, it's not unbelievable that you did it before. But it might be a nice surprise that you did it again. By the third time, it's after a while, it's just, and then it becomes, and then one day, if you don't do it, you're criminal. I give you some examples. How many of you are old enough to remember this? Right, today, this. How many of you remember this? Do you remember when it became this? It wasn't very long ago that it became this, right? The stairs keep slipping down, which means that uplifting your service is a moving target, which means you have to keep looking for and taking the next step up. Wherever you are today, you cannot say that's good enough. Because the expectations will go up, the other departments in the civil service will improve their service, and by comparison, if you do not move, you end up going down. So then, if service, read it with me, go. Service is taking action to create value for someone else. Uplifting service is taking the next action to create more value for, but maybe if you're in the civil service, you realize your responsibility is not just someone else, because the whole nation's future is depending on us. So maybe we should change that last part and say, uplifting service is taking the next action to create more value for someone you care about. Where you're truly emotionally, physically, vocationally, occupationally committed to the well-being of those you serve, your staff and your community, and future generations of this wonderful country. Let's read this definition together. Join me, please. Ready? Go. Uplifting service is taking the next action to create more value for someone you care about. Now, finding that next action does not have to mean changing the national policy. Finding the next action does not have to mean a massive overhaul or a transformation. It could be something very small. But if everybody does it, you end up building an uplifting service culture. When everybody comes to work every day looking to find the next step up. Let me give you some examples. When you serve people, it usually happens in a process. There's a step-by-step. There's a procedure. There's a protocol. There's an application, something you have to go through. And when you look at it from our point of view, it looks like a series of people and procedures and process. But from the customer's point of view, it's one point, then another point, then another point, then another point that they notice. You can make very small changes and still make big impact. Let me show you an example. During COVID, I worked with the largest teaching hospital in Singapore, and they had 1,000 of these spread all over the hospital. I never saw a single person use one. Never, not even once. I couldn't understand. Then I looked closely, and I thought, why doesn't the sign say this? Or this? Or what if the sign said this? No change in the bottle, no change in the sanitizer, no change in the location, big change in the perception point. Let me show you another example. I was flying on a long-distance flight and I wanted to sleep. So I went to the cabin crew. I said, please do not wake me up. Let me sleep. If I get hungry, I will come to the galley and let you know. Certainly, Mr. Kaufman. They let me sleep. And when I woke up, I saw this on my chair. On my next flight, I changed from this airline, which you may recognize is Singapore Airlines, to Emirates. And I wanted more sleep. And I went to the galley and I said, please do not wake me up. And if I'm hungry, I'll come see you. And they said, certainly. And I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I found this. What is the difference between these two? Talk to your partner. Talk to your partner. Both of them are saying the same thing. Do not wake this guy up. But what is the difference from the perception of the passenger and the perception of the crew? Talk to your partner. What makes these so different, even though the action is the same? 30 seconds with your partner. Go. Perfect. Perfect. Come on back. Come on back. I think you understand. Every single point of contact on your website, in your office, in your paperwork, in your delivery trucks, in your uniform, in your verbal language, in the way you answer the phone, in the email message. Every one of those points is a place where you could step up and create a better service experience. And that is enough. Because if everybody in civil service does that every day, even one small step, the entire nation improves at an enormous speed. Which brings us to kind of a wrap up here. I think you already know the answer to this question, so let's say it together quickly. Ready, go. Service is taking action to create value for someone else, and uplifting service is taking the next action to create more value for someone you care about. So then there's really only one last question. The culture exists when everybody does it. Will you? You're in this room because you're a leader. Will your staff notice that you did something different on Tuesday after the 3-day conference with Maldives Civil Service leadership? Or is it going to be the same thing as before? Basic. In other words, are you going to take responsibility or avoid responsibility? Because you could very easily say, I believe, but my boss is a jerk. I want to, but the IT system won't support it. I agree, but other people don't give me the support I need. That doesn't improve anything. But we all do it. Let's go up one level. I tell you what, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I made the same mistake again. I can't believe I did that. I feel so dumb. Oh my gosh, I feel ashamed. Well, that's better than blaming somebody else, but it doesn't help improve your service. So we go to the next level. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's the computer's fault. It's the economy's fault. It's the global political environment's fault. Good excuse. Doesn't change anything. To improve this country, we have to go above the line. And above the line is the world of responsibility. First level, taking personal responsibility. Doing what you can without anybody else's approval. Doing what's possible for you to do as a role model with the people you already have. That's exactly what Jen and I do when we go scuba diving and we see a bottle, a can, a rope, a fishnet. We don't ask the scuba diving instructor, may we please bring it up? We bring it up. But that's not all. Because if you're willing to take personal responsibility, you as leaders could create a sense of shared responsibility. You as leaders could bring together your team, your department, your community, your island. That's what we do when we go diving on the boat. We introduce ourselves to the other divers. We explain to them we like to clean up the trash. If you see any trash on this dive, please give it to us and we will bring it up. And you know what happens? They feel so good about having contributed to that. And no matter where they come from in the world, they will never scuba dive again and swim past a piece of trash. Because they had the experience. Because we created a sense of shared responsibility. And by the way, do you think we get a sense of satisfaction out of that? Of course we do. But that's not all. You, in your position, can go one level higher. You can not only create a sense of shared responsibility in this nation, you could embrace a sense of historic responsibility for the country of the Maldives. You could actually be the ones who say, let's do something today where the benefits may not even be seen by our generation. And we do that here as well. embracing a historic sense of responsibility, even generating it, being the one to make it happen. So, for example, when we clean the reef, I was going to say your reef, but you can tell my wife and I feel like it's ours too. We're part of this with you. A documentary filmmaker came down to actually make a movie, a short YouTube video about what we were doing. And during the surface interval between the first dive and the second dive, when you have to just wait on the surface, a baby whale shark came to the boat. And the filmmaker was going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it was obvious. He wanted to say thank you. I want you to be able to watch that video. It was made by Mandu, who many of you know ran the national television station. So if you have a phone right now and you grab that QR code, you can watch it afterwards and see the story of something that's been created that generates a sense of responsibility for today and for tomorrow. But it's a very interesting thing. Most Maldivians do not scuba dive. In fact, many Maldivian children don't even like to swim in the ocean. So we took another step and created a version of the program called Clean the Island, where we go to the schools in partnership with Lux South Ari Atoll and the Maldives Association of Human Resource Professionals. And it's now spreading around the country, showing the children what we're doing underwater and then inviting them to do it with their own island. And they're cleaning up the trash, giving young people that sense of responsibility, so that they realize when they take action to create value for someone else, they also will enjoy and appreciate the value. Take a deep breath with me, please. Turn to your partner and share with them in 30 seconds, what is the one message you're going to take home with you from this morning keynote presentation on the third day of your civil service conference? 30 seconds. Talk to your partner. What is the one message you're going to take away from the speech I've had the privilege of sharing this morning? Go. All right, come on back, everybody. Come on back, come on back. I think you can tell that I firmly believe in my heart civil service can lead a nation with uplifting service. I've seen it happen in Singapore over 35 years. I'm seeing it happen right here in Maldives, and it's happening because of you. So would you please join me in giving yourselves for the Maldives Civil Service Commission a nice round of applause. Basic. Now we're going to do that one more time, and I want you to realize you're not applauding for me. I want you to be applauding for everybody else in this room. So when I say go, I want you to give the other human beings, your colleagues, your friends, your fellow civil servants, the biggest, rousing, most unbelievable level of applause and thanks that you've done in a long, long time. Look around the room. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go! And thank you, Maldives. Mwah!